Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Farm and Ranch News. Last week I had the opportunity to join in on an inflation impact roundtable discussion hosted in Billings by U.S. Senator Steve Daines and the Americans for Prosperity. One of the panel members was Montana Stock Growers Association Second Vice President Turk Stovall. He had actually just returned from the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and Public Lands Council annual DC Fly-In and Legislative Conference, where he told me there were some tough discussions had with some of the government agencies who have seemed to make an unclear message.
This just doesn't make sense what they're trying to do. If we're trying to really create good sage grouse habitat, how does that make sense to put a solar panel over it? And, we're just not really necessarily getting real clear answers there, but that's why we're there. We're trying to really represent our producers in Montana as well as the whole West.
Now, the Montana Stock Growers Association submitted their comments in questioning the multiple facets, that is, of the BLM's utility scale solar development plan draft programmatic impact statement, which can be read on our website, northernag.net. And the Montana Department of Agriculture and the USDA have went underneath a cooperative agreement to announce an approximately $1 million in round 2 funding under the Resilient Food Systems Infrastructure Program. Through this agreement, USDA and Montana are working together to offer the funds through competitive grant funding for projects designed to build resilience across the middle of the supply chain. MDA Director Chrissy Clark said those interested in receiving sub-award should apply directly through the Montana Department of Agriculture by June 3rd. And we need to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a little bit to look over your ag markets and other ag news.
I represent a lot of what ranchers' wives are, where they marry into the family. Coming into established ranch, the expectations of that is just absolutely overwhelming. There's always stress with all families, but when you're not dealing with the stress outwardly, it will definitely impact everyone inwardly. You may feel alone, but you're not alone.
Welcome back, friends, to your Ag News and your markets. While lower U.S. beef production and tight beef supplies represent a challenge for U.S. exporters, U.S. Meat Export Federation President and CEO Dan Halstrom says the upside of this situation is that there's more opportunities emerging in the international markets for those underutilized beef cuts and beef variety meats.
Even in Mexico and Central America, we've seen some success on some of these cuts. Shoulder clods, another area of the carcass, and of course you can't forget variety meats. Variety meats continue to be a very important part of the growth. So our overall goal is to diversify into as many markets as possible. In the case of variety meats, it's really a testament to the fact that it is working.
Now, Halstrom believes that those expanded opportunities for the underutilized cuts will endure even after the U.S. beef production rebounds in the future. And feedlots and packers are setting up for another showdown this week as the board has regained its momentum, and box beef has started the day stronger yesterday with their big gains. Packers last week, of course, purchased most of their cattle for that 2-week delivery as they don't want a lot sitting around, or they don't need a lot sitting around for what they have in cold storage. Now, as for the bull sale season, we're starting to get into the end of the spring run with the prices continuing to hold strong. Overall, most of the prices are well into that $5,000 money for those yearling bulls, while some of the high sellers run it anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000. For the sheep test, Hayes had a great offering of coal ewes this week. Most of the heavier dressing coal ewes were around that $1 per pound mark, while utility grade did see a little bit less demand. And for a second day in a row, wheat trade felt strong double-digit gains that pushed the board even over $6 per bushel mark. That's something I wasn't sure if I was ever even going to be able to say again. Spring wheat doesn't have as much strength as planting schedule is ahead of pace. Let's look at your ag markets and news. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.